Now, let me bring in Devon Cone, a senior advocate for women and girls at Refugees International. Very good to have you on the program. Just before we begin our conversation, I want to play another clip with Donald Trump because just in the last hour, he again talked about people from Somalia living in the U.S. Let's listen to what Donald Trump had to say.
These Somalians have taken billions of dollars out of our country. They've taken billions and billions of dollars. They have a representative, Ilhan Omar, who they say married her brother. It's a fraud. She tries to deny it now, but you can't really deny it because, it just happened. She shouldn't be allowed to be a congresswoman, and I'm sure people are looking at that. And she should be thrown the hell out of our country.
I think the words of Donald Trump speak for themselves there. Devon Cone, these kind of comments, he also said their country stinks. What kind of effects is that having on people from Somalia living in the U.S.?
Well, it's incredibly offensive to start off with, but it makes them scared. It makes them scared of what a president can do, how legal status doesn't mean anything in this country anymore, and how it is a double standard. I mean, it's very clear there's a double standard because mostly non-white Muslim refugees are treated as suspect, like Somalis, while white migrants are fast-tracked, like the South Africans. So I think it's very clear that he is just using this Afghan person who shot National Guard members in Washington, D.C. as an excuse to really foment hatred towards groups he just personally doesn't like.
So this crackdown that he's now conducting on immigrants all over the country, sending agents to detain people who are even lawfully staying in the country, how much concern is that now causing among immigrants?
Well, it's causing a lot of concern, but one thing that we are seeing is that people, regular citizens in immigrant hosting communities are pushing back as well. These are their neighbors and their friends and their colleagues. And so, we're seeing some pushback from communities, local communities, like we saw some of the local leaders in Minnesota are pushing back. But it certainly scares immigrants and it makes them feel not only unwelcome, but entirely unvalued, and they provide a lot of value to this country. And so, anyone who lives in Minnesota knows that. And, I used to work in a Somali refugee camp in Kenya. That was where I first started my career. And they're vetted. They're wanting to come to this country. They've provided so much benefits to this country. And, the crackdown on immigration overall is just sending a chilling effect to everyone.
Of course, the U.S. is a country built by immigrants. With this kind of president saying these kind of things, launching these raids on immigrants across the country, what's that doing to the social fabric of the U.S.? Is it uniting the people against what's happening, or is it causing even more division?
It depends on who you are, but certainly it doesn't help to help immigrants be successful in this society and in integrating if you demonize them all the time. And for example, this crackdown that was happening before the shooting last week, but certainly has increased and been exacerbated since the shooting, it really doesn't make any sense because, we don't dismantle and destroy our entire judicial system just because one person commits a crime, just as much as it doesn't make any sense to dismantle our entire immigration system or destroy it or undermine it just because Donald Trump doesn't like some people or one person in this case has committed a crime. So, we don't undermine these systems because of crimes committed by individual people.
All right, Devon Cone from Refugees International, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today.
Thank you.